I've had a really horrible week, as is apparent by the current state of my skin and my hair. And I've just been sitting around all day feeling in a funk. And I was like, you know what will probably make me feel better? A good old-fashioned Costco run. Yes, this is how you know you've reached your mid to late 20s, when a Costco run on a Saturday, a beautiful sunny Saturday, is appealing and is what makes you feel good inside. Really, the only times I've been to Costco for the most part have been for my job, and I haven't really been there for personal reasons yet. So I have no plan going into this. Usually I'm like such a stickler with my grocery list and only get exactly what I need, and that's not happening this time, which probably means I'll spend way more money than I need to. But that's what Costco is there for. And like, buying wholesale is cheaper in the long run, right? Like, that's what I'm gonna tell myself. But I think it will make for an interesting meal prep this week, not having a plan and just kind of going off of what looks good and maybe trying some things I haven't tried before. So yeah, hopefully this will turn my day around, and I'll be back and show you guys what I got. Okay, Costco run. Kind of disappointing, TBH. I feel like there's so many like BuzzFeed articles about like, oh, like cool like vegan things you can get at Costco, and then my Costco never has anything. Also, my Costco stopped carrying the Gardein chicken tenders, which they used to have, and I was really banking on getting those, so like I just feel like I can't get over that disappointment. But I did find some cool new things to try. I spent way more money than I needed to. I spent like $114 was my total. Granted, I also got laundry detergent while I was there, and then some soda water, which isn't really a part of my meal plan, but still, my grocery bill is usually like $40, so that is definitely gonna screw up my budget for this week. But I needed some retail therapy, so let me show you what I got. Okay, my least favorite part of going to Costco is attempting to carry everything back in. I live in an apartment on the 5th floor, and I struggle every time. This was way heavier than it looks, but anyways, okay, the best thing I got at Costco are the hippies. If you haven't tried these before, they're so good. They're like a vegan pirate's booty. It's dangerous now that I have these in my pantry, because as you can see, I've already started eating them. I got some canned corn for no specific reason. I just feel like it's something I tend to use a lot. Got some brown rice because I was out and I feel like I use rice pretty often. I have a cheap little rice cooker from Target that I bought a couple years ago, and it works so well. This was, I think, $11, maybe $10 for 10 pounds. So that's not too bad. This I'm pretty excited about. It's Bonza, if that's how you say it. Rotini, made from chickpeas. I've seen this brand before. I've never tried it. I've had mixed experiences with noodles that are made out of beans. So I'm excited to try these out. They have 25 grams of protein per serving, which is awesome. I got some quinoa because I was out of that as well, and I do feel like this is something I use as the base for a lot of my food. This I'm also excited to try. I'm not gonna be able to say this, please don't judge me. Vegetable yakisoba. My cat wants to say hi. He wants to see what we bought today, and he's probably gonna think that box is for him, which it is now. These were in the frozen section, so they're like a little noodle stir fry. It's 6 packets of them. You can cook them in the microwave or on the stove. I have some tofu in my fridge that I think would go good with these, so this might be my dinner for the week. Boring, but I just figured while I was there, I got some staples that I use a lot. So I got some frozen broccoli. It's like a huge bag, which is awesome because I feel like I go through frozen broccoli a lot. And then also got some frozen asparagus. I haven't had asparagus in a little bit, but I feel like they're a good summer veggie. Overall, not going to be able to make a full meal prep out of this. Obviously, I didn't want to buy any produce or anything like that until I actually knew what I was going to be making. So I kind of bought stuff that I felt like I could use as a base and then go off of that. So I will definitely go get some more groceries tomorrow and then prep. And Trouble says we're signing off and we're going to go enjoy the rest of our Saturday. Okay, it is Sunday and I am currently enjoying some leftover pasta and a glass of red wine because I'm almost 27 and I can do whatever I want. I just got back from the grocery store and I really didn't get a lot to add to my Costco haul from yesterday because I am in such a terrible habit right now of wasting a bunch of food, which is totally the exact opposite point of meal prep. So I really want to use up some stuff I have in my pantry. So this is what I'm planning planning on making. I'm gonna do a sweet quinoa with some plums that I have to use up and some maple syrup. I've never made anything like this before, so we'll see how it turns out. For lunch, I'm gonna use that chickpea pasta to make a pasta salad with roasted sweet potato, again something else I have to use up, and that frozen asparagus from yesterday. And then I'm gonna top that with a lemon tahini dill sauce. And then for dinner, I'm really not doing much for that. I'm gonna use those frozen noodle stir fries that I got at Costco yesterday, and I'm gonna be adding to that some baked tofu, which again is something else that I have in my fridge. So while I finish my lunch of spaghetti and wine, I'm also gonna get the water boiling for the chickpea pasta. I'm gonna start pressing my tofu, and then I'm also gonna preheat my oven to 425. That is the temperature I'm gonna use both to roast the sweet potato and bake the tofu. I think those will both work at the same temperature. So let's do it. Okay, that was like perfect timing of everything. My water just started boiling and my oven's preheated, and I just finished chopping up my sweet potatoes. I love when everything works out like that. This is just one medium sweet potato that I've had in my pantry that I definitely need to use. Just diced it up and put some salt and pepper on it with a little bit of spray oil, which yeah, I know is probably horrible for me. Just let me live, okay? It's what I had in my pantry. I'm gonna put these in the oven. I'm gonna put the timer on for 20 minutes, and at 20 minutes I'm gonna check them, and I'll probably flip them, and then we'll see how much more time I think they need. It is like so humid in my kitchen right now. My hair is probably crazy. Now I'm gonna cook 2 of these chickpea pasta bags. It's a little bit more than I'm gonna need. Each serving is about 360 calories, I think, and 25 grams of protein. This will probably make 5 servings. Usually my meal preps, I'll make 4 servings of every meal, but it's just the way it worked out. And these are gonna cook for about 8 to 9 minutes. The one thing with bean pasta is definitely don't wanna overcook them, so I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on those when it starts to get around the 9-minute mark. My tofu is all nice and pressed, so I'm gonna go ahead and dice this up. I'll probably put, I don't know what kind of seasoning, maybe some chili lime seasoning. I have to look in my cabinet and see what I think will go good with that pasta. After I dice these up and get these ready to put in the oven, I am gonna start on the plums and my sweet quinoa, which I am interested to see how it turns out. I feel like this might be something that sounds good, and then knowing me, it's gonna come out looking a mess. So we'll see. Also, if you see me jamming, dancing around, I need you to know that I'm listening to the Greatest Showman soundtrack, which I probably can't play in a YouTube video because of copyright, but I've had that on repeat for like 2 weeks. I'm obsessed with it, so don't judge my dancing or my lip syncing. You know, meal prepping, it's all about having a good time. Okay, I ended up dicing my tofu. Hopefully you guys can see this. Put them in a bowl with about maybe 2 teaspoons of cornmeal, some chili lime seasoning that I get at Trader Joe's, which I'm obsessed with, and then some actual lime juice, and I shook it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in with the potatoes. This shouldn't take too long to crisp up. I'm gonna check it in, I don't know, about 5 minutes. For about 8 minutes. I'm gonna check it now because again, I really don't want it to overcook. This is what it looks like. The bad experiences I've had with bean pasta are that they get too mushy. So let's see how this one tastes. It's really hot. That is actually like the perfect consistency. If you didn't tell me this was chickpea, I would hate when that happens and your sheet pans all of a sudden like warp and make a huge noise in the oven. But if you didn't tell me that was chickpea, I probably wouldn't know it was chickpea. Definitely one of the better bean pastas I've had. Shout out to Costco. So I'm gonna strain this and then rinse it in cool water and just kind of let it hang out. My sweet potatoes aren't gonna be done for a little bit. So after I strain that, I will show you guys how I'm making my quinoa. For the quinoa, I'm kind of going off a recipe I found online, which I will link below, but pretty much it's going to be quinoa, nutmeg, cinnamon, maple syrup, and vanilla that I'm going to cook in my Instapot because I'm obsessed with my Instapot. And then I'm going to saute my plums and then put it all together and hopefully it tastes good. So I'm going to do 1 cup of quinoa. I am aiming for about 4 servings of this. I'm wanting this to be like a mid-morning snack to replace, I normally just eat a bunch of fruit mid-morning. So it doesn't need to be large servings. So, cup of quinoa, and then I'm just gonna eyeball it. A couple shakes of nutmeg. Nutmeg is pretty strong, so you don't need a lot of it. Maybe like a teaspoon or 2 of cinnamon. I really like cinnamon, so just gonna put a bunch in there. Probably good. We can always adjust for taste after it's cooked. Just a sprinkle of salt. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, vanilla, I don't know, teaspoon-ish. Just use the cap as a measuring cup. That's what it's there for, right? This should be good. I literally love the smell of vanilla. Just a little bit more. Okay. And then maple syrup. I feel like you could probably also use agave, pretty much just something to sweeten it. I'm gonna do maybe like 2 tablespoons-ish. I know maple syrup probably isn't the best for you. I'm just gonna finish off the bottle because it was running low anyways. Okay, I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of water. The plan is that after this is cooked, you can pour some almond or soy milk on top of it before you eat it, so it's a little bit more like an oatmeal. So I don't want to add too much water because I don't want it to be like mushy, because I want to be able to add in some milk when I serve it. So yeah, 1.5 cups looks like it's good. Quinoa in the Instapot is so easy. You literally just have to cook it for a minute. The misleading thing about the Instapot is when you say cook it for a minute, you have to account for it coming to pressure. But I would say it's still about 10 minutes, and it's just nice because I don't have to watch it. And every time I've cooked it in Instapot, it's come out really well. I also use my Instapot a lot for dried beans. I just got this maybe a month or 2 ago, and I've used it a bunch. If you don't have one and you eat like a lot of beans and grains, get one. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more water. I don't want to get the burn message. Add about 1/2 cup more. All right. Set this to sealing. Pressure cook for 1 minute. Okay. Don't have to do anything else with that. I'm also gonna check on my tofu real quick. Time is flying by. It's been there for about 10 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and flip that. I'm not gonna flip the sweet potatoes just yet. I'm gonna let the tofu cook for about another 5 minutes and then take it out, flip my sweet potatoes. Oh my God, can I speak? Flip my sweet potatoes and then put those back on the top rack. I moved them to the bottom rack when I put on the tofu, so they're taking a little bit longer to cook. And now I'm gonna get started on sauteing my plums. So my tofu finished while I was slicing my plums. It looks really nice and crispy. So I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit and then I'll put it in a Tupperware to store it in the fridge, and literally dinner is done. That was so easy, I love it. And I washed and sliced my plums. I had 3 left from the grocery store last week. I'm just gonna put this on medium heat and just kind of watch it. I kind of want to cook them down, get the juices going. Yeah, just kind of see how long that takes. I did flip my sweet potatoes as well. I think they have about 10 more minutes until those are ready. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the asparagus, the frozen asparagus, in the microwave. It looks like I'm almost ready to put everything together. Everything is almost done, so I'm gonna go ahead and make my dressing for the pasta salad. I'm gonna be using tahini, lemon juice, and some dried dill. Just gonna kind of see how it tastes as I make it. Normally I'll do about 2 tablespoons of tahini per serving that I'm making. It is kind of high in calories, so just something to keep in mind if you are trying to lose weight. I'm gonna make 5 servings of this, so I'm gonna do 10 tablespoons of tahini. So it's like just around half a cup of tahini. I'm gonna add in a couple squirts of lemon juice. I don't know, that was maybe 4 squirts of lemon juice, about a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, and then some shakes of dry dill. Again, I'm just eyeballing. This might taste horrible. I have my door open, so I don't know what's going on out there. So then you're just gonna add some water to thin it out, and then we'll taste it and see what it's like. I'm still not done with that, but my plums are pretty much done. They're nice and soft. Those cooked, I wanna say 10 or so minutes. I ended up adding in some water because the bottom was burning, and the timer just went off for my sweet potatoes. Total cook time on these were about 45 minutes. Keep in mind that they were on the bottom rack for a little bit, so if you're just cooking them alone on the top rack, it might be closer to 35 to 40 minutes. Just, I check it about every 15 to 20 minutes to see how it's doing. Taste of this isn't bad. Still a little bit strong of the tahini flavor, so I'm gonna add a couple more squirts of lemon, a little bit more dill. I don't know, what else? Maybe some black pepper. And I think I'm gonna do some garlic powder. I don't know, that was maybe half a teaspoon, not a lot. And some more water because it's still pretty thick. That looks like a good consistency. Let's see how it tastes. Okay, this might sound weird, but I'm gonna add some mustard. I really love Dijon or spicy mustard with sweet potatoes. I don't know why, I feel like they go really well together, but I think that will give this a little bit of kick. It might ruin the whole thing, who knows? Find out though. I'm not gonna put too much in it first, just see how it is. A couple little dollops. Alright, now let's see. Okay, I'm into that. I feel like the mustard definitely adds like that vinegar, which kind of breaks up, talking with my mouth full, kind of breaks up. Tahini on its own is very thick, and it's one note, so I do feel like that vinegar really helped kind of cut through that. I'm into this, so I'll try to figure out what my exact measurements were on this, and to be able to write this up. This has been done for a little bit here. If you use an Instant Pot and you're cooking something with liquids in it, it's good to let it sit for like 5 or 10 minutes. If you try to release it right when it's done, the liquid's gonna go like that. So this should be good. I go slowly just in case, but yep, that is all good. It smells really like nutty. I think quinoa has like a nutty taste, and then the nutmeg. Okay, sold. Into it. That is really good. Holy moly, I'm mad at myself for not making this sooner. Okay, so let's portion this all out into Tupperwares. I have my cooked chickpea pasta in here. I'm going to pour in most of the sauce and mix it together. I'm going to save some of the sauce to drizzle on top once I put everything together. Okay guys, I am done. This actually looks really good. I feel like this came out way better than I expected it to. So here is the chickpea pasta with the roasted sweet potatoes, the frozen asparagus, and then I drizzled the leftover tahini on top. I feel like probably I could have done maybe 2 sweet potatoes. Again, I was just using what I had in my cabinet, but overall I feel like these are really good servings of pasta and it should keep me full through dinner. Here is the baked tofu I have for dinner, and then just for the sake of showing you guys, this is what those little freezer noodle and veggie stir fries look like. So I plan on making one of these every night for dinner, and then top with the tofu. Again, I probably could have used double the tofu, but was just going with what I had in my fridge. Thankfully I got some snacks at Costco too if I get hungry. And then lastly, probably my favorite thing that I made is the quinoa for my mid-morning snack. Obviously you could use this as breakfast as well, but you know, I like to have 4 meals in a day, don't judge me. Topped with those leftover plums that I had. I mean, this looks really good, and I plan on adding some more almond milk right before I eat them so that it's not as dry. Overall, this whole thing took less than an hour and a half, and it is now 4:45 on a Sunday, and I don't have to cook for the rest of the week. How good does that feel? Really, really good. Okay, so that's it for today. I know it's been a hot second since I've done a YouTube video, but hopefully you guys liked it. Oh my god, my face is so shiny. Sorry, not sorry. I don't like to wear makeup like ever unless I have to. Anyways, hopefully you guys like this video. I hope to do more videos, but I'm super active over on my Instagram. If you haven't followed me there, go ahead, I'll link it down below. And I don't know, do you guys have any ideas? Like, what do y'all want to see? I feel like I meal prep every weekend, but I don't know how many people actually want to see that. So just let me know, and let me know if you tried any of these recipes. I think they turned out really good. I'm pleased with myself. Okay, I'm gonna go do my nice sink of dishes now and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. Bye.